Yes, guys, we are back. Episode 17. Just saying to Donald that this feels weird because I haven't done this in a while. So we'll see how this goes. Lots to catch up on, Donald. How are we? How are we doing?
Thanks, mate. So, yeah, it's been a few weeks now, hasn't it? I think I was away and then Pat's been away. Um, and then,
Yeah,
this is the
I've,
point I've
even
been
I've been away as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so summer holidays, everyone's on their jollies. But season's well underway. There's been a few shows going on as well, isn't there? So I think PCA's had one, UK DFBA's had one. Is the IMB had one as well? I saw the IFBB Canada show as well. I caught some bits
Yeah.
from that with
Yeah,
Toyton,
the
etc.
IFBB Canada one. That's the one I've known about. I think the next one's coming up. You've got the UK DFBA Northern in like 3 weeks, and then the OCB the week after.
Yeah.
And then coming into September, you've got some of like the big UK DFBA ones and the PCA at the end of that month, and then going in
And
October, WNBF, NBW, etc.
Yeah, they're starting to come thick and fast now, aren't they? I think the last 2 weeks of September and first week of October, you've literally got like shows like every weekend. So I don't know. When you were competing, did you do like back to back like peak weeks?
So when I did mine, I did 4 shows. The first 2 were no, tell a lie. I had the first show and then I had 2 week break. So I had 1 week and then another peak week, and then the following week after that it was another show. So that was a back to back peak week, and then I had a 1 week gap, and then I had my last show.
Yeah. Well, in my last season, I competed 3 times over 4 weekends. So at least one, I'm pretty sure I
Yeah,
did
one of them would be,
back-to-back
wouldn't
peak rounds, had a week off, and then by that third show, like my physique was absolutely cooked. Like I'd never
they?
do
It
that
goes one
again.
way or the other, doesn't it? I think it just
Yeah.
goes one way or the other. Like, I think if you're ready early, you potentially have got to like maybe have a shorter season. But if you're like ready just on time and stuff like that, then sometimes, or maybe not quite like ready, you can almost get better show to show. So I think it just
Yeah.
depends, honestly, on the year. I think I've seen it both ways. I think a lot of people are better for the second show, aren't they? And then it can either go
Yeah.
up or down from there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea. So I did the NPA. What order did it go in? I think I did NPA, WNBF, then UK DFBA. Definitely wasn't quite there for the NPA. Then Supernaturals kind of like brought it in, but then by that third show, I was just like the fatigue and stuff was there.
Yeah.
I don't think I do because like I sent across the dates to my coach for the shows kind of I'm looking at for next year, and like they're all in September, October. But obviously a lot of like specific dates haven't come out, so I've had to look at like the dates for this year's show and be like, and
Yeah,
essentially
yeah,
be like, it's probably going to be in September, or it's probably going to be in October, because obviously I want to do Supernaturals. Um, I'm going to try and get to one international WNBF show, and then I definitely want to do a PC.
Mind.
Well, it's either going to be Dubai and again, because again, some of these WNBF shows, they look really cool, but they don't have a pro show like this year. So, like, I was looking at WNBF Cyprus for this year's show, just because it's all like Greek themed and Achilles themed, and I really love that. But they didn't have a pro like thing, so I messaged them like,
they've got an Ultra Flex in Athens.
"Oh, really?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
That's awesome."
Yeah, like newish. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. But yeah. So you will be going September, October time then?
Yeah,
Next
that's
year.
looking the most likely. because I want to do a PCA show, but again, the only one that's sort of around there is when they do like the
Five.
final
Yeah.
laterals and then the
September.
finals like the next day.
Yeah.
So whether I do, and then there's also the option. I got my NPA Pro card as well, and I messaged them because basically to compete, they have a show in France in November, and they also have one in LA. I probably wouldn't go to LA for their sister show, but I was interested in doing the French one. But I'll have to go and compete at their British Nationals for their pro. I'll have to go and do their pro show as even I just have to compete as I think I have to come in the top 3 or the top 5, and then I can get an invite to like their French show.
When and where is that?
This year, it was either the beginning of September or end of August. So again, it kind of fits in as kind of like one of those first ones. And it's just one of those things that I know that it's going to be sort of late August, early September into sort of October. Essentially, my season will be next year. But I've also said to him because I've picked up a bit of an injury, so my lower back. So I got back from
Yeah,
holiday, hadn't trained for 2 weeks, went in the gym, was doing bent over rows, and like my working sets were like 100 kilos just before I went away. So I put like 40 on the bar, did a warm up set, put 60 on the bar. That felt fine. I thought, right, I'll go to 80. It's 20% less, should be absolutely fine. Got like 3 reps in, and my lower back just spasmed, and it's
really.
just not been 100% like ever since. Like I trained today for the first time. All I've
Like
been doing is
the
cardio and not mobility after having 2 weeks off, and it just I got about half an hour in, did a few basic like back exercises, and then my lower back just got so pumped. I was like, I'm not risking doing any more, and was just doing like glute and hip mobility, and I was like, oh, this is boring as shit. Like I like lifting heavy weights. That's like how I like to train. So to do a few lat pull downs and a few rows, and then just be on the floor doing like body weight glute bridges and having a booty band on my knees to activate my glute medius. So I was like, I literally look like one of these fucking shitty influencers that's trying to sell their booty bands as this is how I got massive glutes with this £5 band. That's 100% not how you got them.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the last few weeks of training have probably been the worst in years for me. So that might make you feel. I literally had I had 2 weeks of different illnesses, which usually, like, in all honesty, like, I'm usually pretty good. I don't get ill often, but I end up going to a festival, which is obviously just full of germs, and end up just
Yeah.
catching kind of a little bit of a sickness from that. And then I kind of knocked that off, but it took me like the whole week really, and then it got to the weekend, and I ended up having like a barbecue and a few other things, and I don't know whether it was a stomach bug or food poisoning or what, but the next week I was fucking writ off. So that was basically 2 weeks of training just like out the window, and then the following week I'll go on holiday for the week. So I've just had 3 weeks where I did train on this Europe trip, but like it's never like progressive, intense,
Yeah.
training quite the same. So I've just had 3 weeks of just like pretty no nutrition and shitty training. But surprisingly, I'm actually looking alright because I've lost a fair bit of body weight from it. And
Yeah.
although that might not be the
But you're
most
mini cutting
optimal way,
anyway.
I'm like, sorry.
You were starting a mini cut last time we spoke
Yeah,
anyway.
well, it's done now anyway. Let's just say that way. I'm not even joking. Like, this morning I was down to about 81 kilos, and that's where I wanted to get to. So I've just creeped the calories up a little bit, and just need to get back on top of training performance for a while. But yeah, it was good. I know this is a bodybuilding podcast, but I think it's sometimes funny to talk about our own personal lives and stuff. I had some funny stories in Europe, which is so for those who don't know, I went to Cologne. Um, I went and then to Berlin and then to Prague. So in Cologne, they have a gym called Evoland. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like it's really cool. It's modern. It's really well equipped. New tech, Prime. Panata. A lot of hand pit bits. Really really nice gym. Gym AE. A lot of serious bodybuilders I've probably never seen other than when you've been at like an expo. I've probably never seen that many competitive bodybuilders in like one space at one time,
Yeah.
male and female, honestly. So that was a cool experience. Tried out a few new machines that I really liked, a few new tech bits, and that was a cool vibe. But yeah, Cologne just spent exploring, and then we went to Berlin. I don't know if anyone's knows about Berlin, but they've got a gym called the Bunker there, which is literally where Urs used to train, and it is literally a bunker. Like you go down these
Yeah.
set of stairs, concrete set of stairs, and it's like underground, and there's like pipes everywhere, and it's a bit of a shithole, but it's actually quite a vibe. Like they've genuinely got decent equipment in it. I thought they'd be shit equipment, but they've got good equipment. They've got a lot of history. They've got loads of like the photos up of the magazines, and it was a good vibe in there. I'd actually recommend
James
it.
taking
Like,
bodybuilding very seriously.
yeah, I mean, you could tell, and I know that a lot of the Germans on the natural scene are probably, you know, in from what I see, like the UK and German naturals are usually like the best, aren't they? Like on the wider scale, like obviously you get a few crazy Americans and stuff like that, but like you get a lot of Germans coming over to the PTA shows and stuff that are really good, aren't they? So makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Um, but anyway, I've got to get into a few funny stories. So in Berlin, the nightlife there is pretty wild. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I heard some
They've got
stories.
they've got they've got a couple of clubs. Some of them are meant to be like exclusive, so they don't let everyone in. They send some people away, and then some of them are just really crazy. So we went to one called Treasure, which is a little bit less exclusive, but they do send people away, and that was just an experience. So you basically you go in if you can. Like when we got there on the door, the guy was like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Oh, I love techno." I don't, but that's just what we said. And then he was like, "Why are you getting so close to me?" When I hadn't even moved, and I was just I didn't really say anything. So they're trying to like catch you out, so, like to see whether they want you in there or not. But let us in
Right.
there. They end up covering your phone up with tape, so you can't record, you can't take photos, and you basically go down these set of stairs, and it's just like quite smoky. It's almost like a bunker again. There's writing all over the walls, and people are just doing all kinds of shit in there. There's another place called Kit Kat, which we didn't go into, but some of the people we met ended up going there. And let's just say that's a fucking wild place. So you have the dance floor, and then outside of the dance floor is just a bunch of mattresses, and you could guess what people were doing on them. So this is what it's like.
Right.
It's pretty mental. And then I've got one more funny story that I might have been a bit naive, but I've got to get into it. So after that night out, obviously we had some drinks, felt a little bit rough the next day. Just kind of explored Berlin, and then in the evening, I just wanted to do something relaxing. But um, you know, I always like going to like a spa or something, like going in the sauna, sweating it out, feeling a bit better. So I looked up a spa, and I find one, and this is going to give the wrong idea initially. It wasn't like this, but it's almost like a Thai themed spa. And what I mean by that is
Right.
if you go to Thailand or Bali, the kind of like housing they've got where it's like kind of like wooden, it's like
Yeah.
open glass, there's pools everywhere. It's that kind of like vibe. It's basically that outside. But anyway, we get there, and the lady's like telling us about it, this and that. They got this many saunas, that many, this and that. And we're like, sounds great. She's telling us the prices, and then she's like, just so that you know, it is no textiles or whatever.
I don't know if my audio's gone. Just a sec. Speak again. I don't know if you've muted yourself, mate, because I can't hear you. Yeah, I was going to say the light in your road's gone out. There we
Yo,
go.
any better? All right,
Yeah, you're
hopefully
back.
this one's got back here.
Yeah.
Um,
You got up to the point where you said no textiles.
yeah, so basically what that means is obviously no trunks. But I don't know if people know this, but in European cities, it's quite common for you to go in the sauna with just like a towel or like a
Yeah,
robe. So
yeah.
I do know that some people, will go in them naked, but like it's not that common. Like most people just go in a towel or robe. We're like, yeah, sound, whatever. We walk into this place and we go to this outside bit or even inside, but the first bit we see is the outside, and there's just hundreds of naked people, just like full on. And people were just sitting there eating food naked. People were swimming in these pools naked, and I was just like really taken
Yeah.
back because it might have just been a bit naive. I was just not expecting. I was like, fucking hell, all
It's
right.
like nudity's a lot more like
Yeah,
accepted, kind of like in Europe. It's just
yeah,
more normal.
part of
They're not as prudish as we are.
it.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's so funny. That was so funny
yeah.
that you
So
just yeah, yeah, I'll be in a towel. It's fine. Oh my God, there's 500 naked people here.
genuinely, and I initially just went into like a sauna, and there was like no one in it initially, and then it started to fill up. And mate, when I say people don't give a fuck, they just did not give a fuck. Like people were laying down with their legs spread, like basically smell someone's cock. Like it's mental. Like they just like, out there, like that is just the norm. Like I had like a
Yeah,
towel wrap around me in the sauna, and you could tell people double look me like, why are you doing that? Like because everyone just gets naked. Do you know what I mean? But that
yeah,
was an experience. Like I tell you what, like it makes you realize how much body dysmorphia and like how blurred we bodybuilders have the human body. Because when you see like a couple of hundred people that some of them might keep fit or whatever, but like just normal people, you see so much
the
diversity of
top
the human body
1%.
that you're like fucking hell. Actually, like you don't realize how blurred your vision is.
Well, I
So
noticed that when I was on holiday, because
mm,
obviously when I went on holiday last year, I was in the middle of prep. So I was
yeah,
probably sub 10% body fat, like shredded.
mm,
And then when I went on holiday this year, I was just at the end of my mini cut, but I wasn't anywhere near as shredded. So I felt like bloated and fat, like by my standards.
yeah,
But then I got on holiday, and for the first 3 days, I don't think I saw another guy that trained. No, no, there was
yeah,
one guy from the back, big shoulders, turned around, massive beer belly. And I was like, literally, I'm in the best shape of anybody here by quite some margin. By the time it's
yeah,
getting to the second half of the week, you can tell like the summer holidays had started, and more of like the teens and the early 20s guys kind of started showing up, and there was more guys kind of like in shape. But like you said, when you kind of everybody's so desperate to like get in shape for holiday, isn't it? And then you go on holiday and you're like, I could be like bang average as somebody in the fitness industry, and I'm probably in the top 1% of people that
yeah.
are around that pool, and nobody gives a fuck. Like
No,
nobody
no one,
cares that you're shredded,
no one
and
cares.
nobody's gonna care if you're fat. Like nobody
Yeah,
cares.
no, 100%. Yeah, it's interesting. It is actually so. It's so interesting. How was your holiday, mate? I saw you did like a little obstacle course.
Yeah, so one thing that does come about of when you keep yourself in good shape, I don't know, have you ever been on like an all-inclusive holiday that's like designed for families?
I have when I was younger, for sure.
So they have what's called like an entertainment team. So they have a load of stuff that's going on all day. There's not like a full game. So every day at 12 o'clock, there was like the entertainment manager, and there'd be like full games going on. And he's super competitive. And literally, this guy clocked me on the first day. I was like, you, 12 o'clock at the pool, I want to see you there. I was like, all right, what's this about? And it was like the first day of games, and then every day after that, like, also, he asked me what my name was, and I said like Deej as I was running, and he thought my name was Carlos. So then, for the rest of the holiday, I'm all going to say, "Oh, Mr. Carlos." My wife was like, "Why are they calling
What
you Mr.
what
Carlos?" I was like,
what
"That's what you get
nationality
for
was
my
it?
name is." I don't Turkish.
What? Oh, Turkish. Was it a
Yeah,
good reset though?
yeah, it was a good reset,
Yeah,
and it's the first couple of days that I was there, like literally, I left my phone in the safe in the room until it was like the evening, just because I wanted to check. I told all my clients, like, look, it's going to be a bit of radio silence. If you need me, like,
Yeah.
WhatsApp me.
Yeah.
I'll check sets for about half an hour of an evening.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not until you completely unplug yourself from social media, from YouTube, from these algorithms that you actually realize like how overstimulating they are. And
Mate, it's crazy.
my brain, when I'm burnt out, it almost like craves stimulation to distract me. So
100%.
it's one of those things like because I'm always wanting to be working and doing. Like when I'm burnt out, like my brain's like do more, do more, do more. Like go on YouTube or go on Instagram and do and scroll or do this or do that. And after like 2 or 3 days of just not doing that, of just being present, like doing stuff around the pool, going for a swim, spending time with my family, like my creativity just came back. Like this flood of like ideas when it comes to like content and stuff I can be doing with my clients, that all kind of started flooding back in. And I realized, wait a minute, I haven't been having these ideas for like 4 weeks. Like, what's the difference? And the difference was like,
Yeah.
I actually unplugged and it's
Yeah.
made me go now, like, if I'm going out and walking the dogs, I will try to leave my phone at home and just have
Hmm.
half an hour like not even listening because like when I was trying to be like productive like all the time,
Yeah.
like if I'm walking the dogs, I'll be listening to a podcast or
Yeah.
I'll be listening to like a webinar or something like that. Whereas actually, it's really important to just actually give your brain a break and just have nothing.
Yeah.
And it's really hard at first if you're used to being overstimulated all the time to just go to nothing. But if you
Yeah.
don't know what boredom is, like I don't know about you, but it'd been a long time since I've just felt bored.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Actually,
honestly,
it's good
like,
for you.
yeah, I think in this generation, you are scared to be bored. Like, I feel like I'm scared to be bored. Like, I purposely will make myself busy. But it's funny that you say that because I remember listening to something, funny enough, on a walk, being productive, but basically talking about like if you want to start having more creativity and like coming up with ideas, you have to be bored. Like, you need to be more bored. So like, go sit somewhere without any distractions or go for a walk with no headphones in or this and that, and that's when you actually have your best ideas because your brain actually has time to think. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like distracted, and it 100% works. Like, I definitely have time, spend time away from my phone. You know, we could all be better, but like, to be honest, I'm actually okay with it because I'm fucking sick of it because I'm on it all the time, like for work, replying, whatnot. So in the morning, I always go out for a walk. I always do that without my phone. In the mornings as well, I will quickly check my phone just to see if there's like any emergencies. But other than that, I won't look at it for the first hour. Like, I won't
Yeah.
go on it. I won't actually do anything. I go for my walk where I won't even have it with me, and then in the evening, a lot of time, I'll just literally put it in the other room. So it's just like, and don't get me wrong, I'm like, I want to check it. I want to go up and get it. But like, when I make the commitment of like, right, it's in the other room, I'm not going to get up and do it. Like,
Yeah.
because
You just
you
put a
don't need
barrier
it.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was next to me, I'm just fucking, it's so bad. But like you said, if you go on a holiday like that and you know, you're with your family and this and that, your lifestyle clients are going to be fine. You know, they ain't on prep, this or that, then such a good time to do it. And I bet it just gives you a real insight of how fucking hooked we are all on it. It's just mental.
Oh yeah. And it's kind of one of those things where I think as fitness professionals, we're very good at telling other people like what they should be doing, and
Yeah.
then we fall prey to the same pitfalls that they do because we're all human. Like
Yeah.
we're all busy, we all have the same shit sort of going on, and we know what we should be doing, but sometimes we're not actually doing it. And it's why I have a coach because I know what I should be doing. If I wanted to write a program when somebody's on prep, if I want to write a training program, I know how to do that. But that accountability and having that other set of eyes that's not emotionally attached to the outcome, yes, they want to see you succeed, but my
Yeah.
coach isn't as emotionally attached to the outcome as me because he's not there on stage. Like,
Yeah.
So it's why even I qualified as a PT back in 2012. I've been doing this for 14 years. Like, but I still have a coach, and 90% of it's that accountability. Because
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
It's just for most things in life to achieve it, it's simply just doing it consistently. And for that, it's just having accountability to do it consistently, whatever it
yeah.
is. Like, so yeah, I literally couldn't agree more, mate. I literally couldn't agree more. So where obviously we didn't even tell anyone. Patrick is obviously not making it tonight.
Yeah.
He is just coming back from his travels. He went to Hong Kong,
Yes.
didn't he?
So he did. I think he had clients in WNBF Singapore,
Was it
and then I
Singapore or
think he
Hong
went
Kong?
on to Hong Kong.
Oh,
I think it
really?
was both.
Oh, wow. Okay.
um, so I know he
And
definitely
he
had
has
some
loads
posing
of bigger.
clients in the first one. And did you? I don't know if you saw in his stories, like some of the like pump up rooms and stuff they have like backstage at these like shows in the Far East are ridiculous. It literally looks like the back of the Olympia. Like, I don't think anybody in the UK provides anything. Like, you've got to take your own resistance bands and dumbbells like to every
You
show.
know
Like,
what
why
I
has
thought?
nobody set up a decent pump up room?
Yeah. You know what I thought was mental was the stage is like
Mm.
there was like not fireworks, but like did you
Like
see some of
pyrotechnics.
the
Yeah.
like fucking hell, like
So you
must
know
have a
why
big
that is?
background.
Well, so what it is if you had a production setup like that in the UK, it'd be so expensive. But out there, venues are dirt cheap. And
Really?
also, because of the cost of anabolics, like the interest in natural bodybuilding is massive. So like
Really?
my coach is based out in India, um, but he often goes over to like because he'll take some of his team over to like the shows in like Thailand and stuff. And he was saying sometimes they have like an entire day of men's physique. Like they'll have 500, 600 athletes, even if they're only paying like 50 quid each, like in local currency. If you've got 500 athletes, the
Fucking hell.
budget that you've got for that because the venue is dirt cheap. It means
What's up?
Hey,
I'm back. I'm back.
we were just
we
talking
were
about
just
you.
we were just talking about
What's
you. We
up?
started saying about
Uh,
the production of shows over in the Far East is insane.
oh my, yeah.
Tired
On
men's physique guys, didn't you?
honestly, it was. Let me just turn this blinds down because I feel like you can't see anything. You just like it's too bright. Honestly, it's something else over there, bro. Like, first of all, yeah, like I said, the production value is just next level. The number of athletes is like crazy. Like they overall had 22 people in it because they had that many classes. It's like
Fucking hell.
ridiculous.
How did you even fit them on the
Ridiculous.
stage?
Mate, they had to do them, put them like into two groups where like for men's physique, they had to put two groups, then have the first group go, then the second group go, and then they'll call out like
Oh, really? So it's like a
the
proper,
top
yeah.
half of it, and then they compare them again, and then they call out the top five for more comparison to determine the free pro card winners, which was ridiculous.
What
Like
was the standard like?
very good, very good. I mean, like I think the finish is like different. They have like over here we've got like mainly just like especially for classic. I'm going to use classic bodybuilding as an example because it's kind of easier to understand. Um, Over there they have like novice and beginner classic divisions before they even go to like the open classes, and those classes like are big classes. So it's like a progression stage from one level to the next level to the next level. So everyone that turns up for the in the open class are usually very experienced people, and is I mean I could not judge that show. Like honestly, it's yeah, I could
You
not judge it.
seem like
It's
you got such a buzz around you, man. I'm not sure if that's the holiday or that's talking about the shows.
oh I think it's just
Like good
I
energy,
don't know
bro. I
mate. A
love
bit of
that.
both
Yeah, man.
really. A
Ah,
bit of both really. But yeah, it's just like it kind of opened my eyes a lot and made me realize that wow, there's so much more for the UK to push in terms of like bodybuilding and especially in the
yeah,
production side of things. And the level of athletes, like just the whole like the whole vibe how well everyone is connected, how well everyone supports each other there. It was just like phenomenal to see, man. Very refreshing.
I was explaining to Kris, because my coach does everything, shows going on quite a lot, and he was saying it's basically it's a cost thing. So over there, like venues and stuff are dirt cheap compared to
Yeah,
doing them in the UK, which means that if you've got 500 athletes and they're all paying, let's say, 50 quid each, but your venue cost is what, 5% of that income that you've then brought in, you can then
mhm,
spend a lot more in terms of that kind of like production value. So we've got two choices. Either we grow the sport, get more people interested in it, so you get more athletes in and more shows, which then means you're going to get bigger sponsors because you're going to be putting people in front of, you're going to be putting yourselves in front of more eyes, which I think is the way they're trying to go.
mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to bring down the costs of the venues because you're competing with what, like, in theatres and stuff, like theatre productions, music concerts, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, well, we're doing our bit, bringing more eyes to the sport.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree with what your coach said, to be fair. I think it's like, it's definitely because, I mean, like, Hong Kong is like, it's not like a cheap place in general, but like, even for them to pull that venue off, it's quite impressive. Like, it's very impressive. I guess they can do that because of the numbers that they've got going to the show. And I don't know what they're doing in like in the background to kind of get more people involved in bodybuilding. I don't know if it's because of like how bodybuilding is portrayed in the media over there, or like how it's kind of like seen over there compared to UK. But it doesn't feel like it's done for social media, whereas in the UK it kind of sometimes feels like that. Over there,
Love
it kind of
for it.
feels, yeah, it's like there's
Mate, you
a
know
lot more
what?
passion behind it.
I sometimes will talk to
Hmm?
like that
Hmm.
ethnicity of people, and they just fucking love it, man.
That
Like
makes
they
you think.
genuinely love it. So,
They do,
you know,
they really,
it,
really
it
do.
makes sense. What were some of the, take us through some of the highlights?
I think, I think from the show particularly, I think the highlights were just, for me, was just the men's physique. Just I've never seen a show that has the whole entire day just for men's physique. That was very phenomenal to watch. Um, I mean, like they had like a separate day for like the bikini girls and the figure girls as well. So it's like
Were they
the Friday.
snatch classes as well?
Sorry, yeah, yeah, pretty
Were they
much
busy?
like
Really busy?
every single day was pretty
Really?
much like, yeah. I
Wow.
think so that the bikini and figure like all the female classes on the Friday, and then the Saturday was bodybuilding and classic, and then Sunday was men's physique. So I think the most busiest day was obviously the men's physique one because they had the most classes. They had, I think like every class goes up by like 2 centimeters, which is like
Wow.
very, yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
yeah. That's so literally 2 centimeters
Very
high.
fair comparison.
Yeah, and there's 11 classes, so that's how many there were, and that's just for open. And obviously they had like the novice class, beginner classes earlier in the day. I think the highlight for me was just witnessing like watching Morgan compete with Ping and Roy in like they were both the three of them were in the same class and the three
They're
of
all
them were
top three, weren't
phenomenal.
they?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
they
sick.
were all like they were all phenomenal. It's a in my ideal world, I wish they had all been like different classes so that they would have made
Mm.
it to the finals together in overall together. But they all end up in the same class, high class, and then just to have them get pulled out like a couple of times just for comparisons to make that decision, it just goes to show how close it was between the three of them, and it could have gone either way, like in different group of judges. So yeah, the three of them were phenomenal, outstanding, and they had like so much respect for each other, like just pushing each other
Yeah,
as
man,
well.
that's
So that
great.
was very refreshing to see. Very, very refreshing to see.
It all seemed like I saw a few bits and it just seemed like I think we spoke about it before, but it's just like you doing your thing, you want to win, but it's just like getting up there and having a battle with a few mates. Like
Yeah,
whoever
yeah,
wins, you're going to be happy for. Don't get me wrong, you want
yeah,
to fucking win, but like you'd rather it be like that than rather getting up on stage as some arsehole. It's like, right, I fucking hope you do good, but I want to beat your ass, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Literally, that's the kind of vibe it was, and it was really refreshing
Mm.
to see. It was fun. It was like healthy competition. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that was my highlight for sure from the entire show. So yeah.
So you did Singapore and Hong Kong?
No, I didn't. I
No,
did
no, no.
just no. I did Hong Kong, and then like I did Manila for like 6 days, just cause I originally was planning to go to Japan, go to Tokyo for like those 6 days, and then come back to Hong Kong to fly home. And then last minute, Ayman, who is my business partner, he's based in the Philippines. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather just go to the Philippines so we can still film get some work done, get some content done. And then I literally decided like 7 hours before flying there. And as soon as I landed, I got a message from who was it that messaged me first? Hold on, I'll tell you exactly who messaged me first. But yeah, they had a whole earthquake, didn't they,
Mm.
in Japan?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So like I got a
Oh,
message like
no, I saw
literally
your
from
story.
go on.
No, I remember I saw like a glimpse of your story.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I got a message from Scott Jessard, and he was like, "Mate, are you okay? What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I got a
Yeah.
message straight away from my flatmate after I saw Connor, and he was like, "Bro, are you okay? What the fuck's going on?" Like, and I was like, "Mate, what is meant to be going on there?" And then they both just said, "Oh, there's a massive earthquake in Tokyo, like in Japan, and just fucking make sure you're not caught in it." And I was like,
Every,
"Oh, I decided not to go there last minute." So
yeah.
it was the universe that literally told me not to go there,
Mate,
which is like,
everything happens for a reason. I honestly
yeah.
could not believe that more. Genuinely, couldn't. Everything.
It was the most bizarre thing to happen. Like I think, holy shit! Like I'm not saying that wherever I was gonna go, I was gonna get caught in it, but it was obviously a big deal because like worldwide news. So yeah, I managed to just escape that, and I went to end up in the Philippines, filmed, did a lot of work while I was out there, which was pretty cool. And then flew back to Hong Kong to fly home yesterday. Yeah, how was your trips? I see you was partying hard the other day on your stories that we could go also.
Yeah, to be fair, like um, I talked about it a little bit on earlier on in the podcast, but the night out we had in Berlin, I did drink, but for the rest of it, like a lot of the time when I go to the festivals, I don't drink, don't do anything, just do it
Right.
sober because where I love the D&B music so much, I'm just there for like honestly for the music more than anything else. So
Yeah.
honestly, like it was good. It was you'll have to listen to the podcast. I've got some
Yeah, yeah. I'll catch
very
up. I'll
funny
definitely catch up
stories.
tomorrow morning, man, when it's out.
Um, I've only said a few bits. I'll have to save some for the future. But it was really good, mate. It was busy. We was doing like 30. Our average for the last 7 days is 30K steps.
Holy
So
shit.
and bearing in mind we was on like planes, we was on trains for 5 hours. We was this and that. So like we was just going for it. And I was just saying to Deej, combined with that and me getting sick, let's just say the mini cut's done because body weight's just so yeah, that got done quicker than I was expecting, so that's not too bad. But
Oh man.
yeah, it's been good. Just honestly, like ready to get back to training properly though, because the last like month has probably been my worst month of training, honestly, in
Right.
years because of all of it all. But these things happen, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's been a nice little break as well. Kind of set you right up to go hard right into the main part of our season, I guess.
Yeah,
How
yeah. You
how
got the
how was
big
your
dog.
trip, Donald?
It was good. Apart from injuring myself kind of when I got back, but again, talked about it.
Oh God.
Talked about it earlier. But yeah, I managed to train today, um, and yeah, just it's one of those things, isn't it? Where you come out of I came out of prep because my last prep I got injured straight out of prep with my lower back again. So it's quite
Shit.
lucky because I know how to rehab it properly. But
Mhm.
it's frustrating because I came out of prep, I did everything right, managed to not injure myself when I was your body's literally right at that point, and then I come off a
Weakest,
2 week
yeah.
holiday in the middle of my off season, do a weight that most of the time it was an 80 kilo bent over row. Like I've bent over row like 100 and what is it? Like 4 plates before. Like an 80 kilo bent over row should not have thrown my lower back out, and it just makes me go, I'm turning 35 this year, mate. That's not being touched now, like,
I think honestly, the injuries happen more when you're not doing anything
When you-
bad. It's like always outside the
100%.
gym. You're like
100%.
walking and then you like fucking fall off the curb and you like roll your ankle. So retarded.
Well, you wake up and you're like, oh, Jesus, it feels like I've been hit by a bus. What happened? I'm just,
Yeah.
just asleep.
And then you see a fight of your sleep and your neck was like this. You no fucking wonder. But nah, good man. So Patrick, take us through the holiday a little bit more, and then your prep client. So when you went straight to the show, did you, or did you see the boys before? How did it go?
Yeah, so the show started the Friday. I left the UK on Tuesday, the Tuesday before the show. So I got there the Wednesday, and as soon as I got there, I met up with Roy, and then I met up with Roy, and I'm sure a lot of you that are listening to this already know Jack Chan, Julian. Met with them for a session. Roy was only allowed to train, obviously, like peak week session, so he was not having fun, whereas all of us like kind of really was having a good, like, normal like session. So he was a bit upset that he couldn't join in, but yeah, it's off the vibe. So yeah, did that, and then we had to look at his posing, checked, make sure he was on point. His coach was in New York at the time while we was there, so obviously the time difference was very, very different. But I think it's like 12 hours difference or so. So I was just kind of keeping him calm, and make sure he doesn't stress over anything. Just obviously the communications wouldn't always be great if you've got such a huge time difference. Yeah, and it was what it is. So you just have to make do what you can. So I was just there to play like Big Daddy pass role, make sure he was calm and just chill, and just talk a lot of confidence into him to make sure he's just a bit more.
What place did he take in the end?
He ended up in third place in that against the two Ping and Morgan, who both end up with the pro cards. Yeah.
Sick.
So
did you have any more?
Yeah,
you had a couple of other posing clients, didn't you?
Yeah. So I had I helped out with Morgan as well. Like, I've known Morgan for a while, since 2023, and obviously stayed in touch. Like, but he's one of those people that just loves the sport for what it is, and he's so genuine. So every now and then, like, if he's like, hey, I have like an issue with this pose, how can I fix it? And I'll give him little tips and stuff like that. So it's nice to actually be there in person to kind of add little tweaks here and there to make sure he got it spot on. And obviously his coach is also Adam Powell, who's also based in the UK. So it was just nice for him to have another familiar face there with him, and just kind
of course,
making sure the final tweaks before he went on stage. And then I met I don't know what, obviously because I was helping the other guys there. There were a lot of people that were there would then be like, hey, can you have a look at me? Can you give me a little pointer here and there? So which was pretty cool to kind of network like that and help a few people. Yeah, basically, it felt claiming
and all of that.
Yeah, it actually felt more like a work trip than it did feel like holiday, if I'm honest with you. So just help with that. I actually got back, and straight away as soon as I landed, I had like 3 of those guys that I met backstage online for sessions, which started today because they're competing soon again. So just did that, and then on the Sunday I had Eamon competing in the open show. Eamon is the head judge for my men's physique part of the Posing Society. So he was doing his first pro show the Sunday, and there was a typhoon warning, so the show got pushed back till late. He was originally meant to be competing around about 8 o'clock in the evening, but he ended up competing about midnight, which was like, didn't really help at all, but it is what it is. Just make do what you got and push through. So he did very, very well. He didn't place in the top 3, which he wanted to. But again, it's his first ever pro show. I think it just came down to size, and the guys were just a lot, like the top three were just a lot bigger than he is, and he just needs time to kind of catch up, really. But in terms of like posing, in terms of presentation, everything was flawless. I don't know if you guys seen any of the stuff of his stuff on my stories or like on my page, but he's incredible when it comes to presentation. Like, and you couldn't fault him. Like, he did everything within his power, and like he did what it is. The placing just didn't go away what he would have liked to get, but that's bodybuilding for you. You're never going to get the way you always want. You just have to do best of where you got, really. But he had a great time. He really, really enjoyed it. And obviously he had a few clients there competing as well. So they did well. I think he had like a couple of guys in the Masters division, which was earlier on in the day. I can't remember where they placed, but they seemed to like really, really enjoy the whole experience. So yeah, that was pretty much most of the whole trip. And then after the show finished, a few more sessions with the boys, and then Julian and his mates had a trip to Bali, so they went to Bali. I ended up going to the Philippines with Eamon to train and get some content, and then Roy jetted off to California with his mom for a little pet family holiday. So yeah, he goes back to the UK this weekend.
Sounds like you've been living it up, bro. Did you get up to anything outside of bodybuilding with anyone, or was it mainly just?
Do you know what?
like,
Yeah, I
training
love.
and-
Yeah, do you know what? I love. I'm a massive like tourist guy. When I love walking around, exploring and stuff like that. So
me too.
whenever I go away, I try to do a bit of that. But for the first time ever, it just felt I didn't have time at all. Only because I had like people competing here in the UK as well. So in the evening, night time, when I'm meant to be sleeping, I'm doing check-ins like and stuff like that. And in the daytime, when I'm meant to be exploring and stuff like that, I'm catching up on sleep. And then it was just kind of almost like wasn't really working well in my favor. But it's part of the business. You have to do what you have to do to make it work. While I was away, I had Connor do a PCA Naturals free, and then which was like 2 weekends ago, I believe. And then the Sunday just gone, I had Tom Riley at WNBF. I don't know any of you went to see that this week, past weekend, just gone.
No.
Yeah, so those were the main guys that I was kind of like liaising with before, in between while I was away, and then obviously guys that are competing later in the year, like just doing online sessions pretty much. But it's very, very tough, like in terms of like the whole time management thing. Like I need to figure out how to work it better, because it got to the point where I was like, I'm actually cooked. like
it's
I'm actually really, really cooked.
Some level of boundaries for yourself. Like as you get busier, it's like this many sessions available today, and that's it. Rather than
Yeah.
because obviously we have so much passion for it, we're probably just doing too much, which I know is
Yeah.
great, but it's not sustainable long term. Like eventually, you might just need a booking system and have the slots available that you have, and other than that, it's kind of first come first serve with it.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of the website is live as well, by the way, which is pretty cool. So once people sign up, they can go on there and like book slots. But obviously, the issue is, cause it's like you got people that are 6 hours or 7 hours ahead, or like 12 hours ahead or behind. They book slots, and then you just think, oh crap, that's their time frame. It doesn't really work with you. So I need to figure out how I can then block myself off from the times that I need to be off on their system, so that they can book according to that time. They're doing their best to work around it. And they're willing.
System, just so that these
On your
times
time
are
frame.
adjust times, but then what it will do is adjust to their time zone. So you
Right,
could,
okay.
it's a 9 a.m. slot for you, but then somebody in America that would show up as a 4 a.m. slot for them, which is not ideal. Or if you've got like 9 till, say you open up a 4-hour slot in the morning, and then say a 3-hour slot in the evening, so that you're covering both time zones, but you're not working every hour between times.
Yeah, I think that's the shot actually. So what I'm gonna do is I've got a meeting tonight with the software producer, and then kind of like talk to him about it, and I'm gonna have to like give like make time sports in the morning and evening, like you just said. That's probably the best option. Otherwise, it's just all over the place at the moment. It's a bit ridiculous.
It's just going through that transition. Like every time you start a new business or do something new, it's just trial and error until you like, and you, sorry, pardon me, and you just keep like readjusting and correcting.
Yeah,
That's super exciting, bro.
yeah, definitely.
Really, really cool.
However, this is what I wanted to also add up. Obviously, you guys know I started that whole series about my top 5 routines of the day from a show that I attend. I did actually film a lot of the bodybuilding, because that's in Hong Kong. They're only allowed to do a routine, which is really, really weird. It's only bodybuilders that's allowed to do 60 seconds routines. Like
Really?
the classic guys were just meant, yeah. The classic guys were when allowed to do like a full routine. They just did like the NPC style introduction routine, where you did like 30 seconds of introduction routine, and that was it. So they weren't actually, and it'll be just any random music. It'll be like kind of like how Men's Physique will post to any random music. That's how it was like from classic guys. So it's only the bodybuilders that were actually allowed to do routines. And so what I did was like I sat through that whole session and kind of like filmed a lot of the routines, so I can do a little routines that stand out. So I'm going to be editing that the next coming week. So hopefully within the next week that will be out soon for that, which would be pretty cool for everyone to see how it's like over there, I guess. But yeah, it was very, very, very interesting. Like, if one thing I learned from that whole trip that I can give to people watching this that's going to help them is, guys, don't take your posing fitness for granted, because that was a big, big lesson over there. And 2, learn to pose on all sides. Don't just have like, especially when it goes like a side chest, for example, don't just do your favorite side. Learn to do on opposite sides, because it got to the point where competition was so tough that they had to make them do all sides to make sure. Yeah, they had to make them do all sides. From both sides, side thrusts from both sides. For the same thing for the men's physique guys as well. They have to hit their front shots from both sides with the opposite hands on the hips, just to help them determine who the true winners were.
The thing is, when you've got that many competitors, though, it's fucking. They got to do something if they want it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
So
I'd be cooked if I had to hit a side tricep from the other side.
I was sat in the crowd when they said it. My face was like, "Pardon."
Yeah.
Excuse me,
How
sir.
did they say? They had to say side chest from the other side. How do they know what side you put it from, though? Everyone the same side.
They were like, they were like, gentlemen, can we now see your side chest from the left side? And then they'll be like, oh, can we now see your side chest from the right side? And I was sat there and kind of thinking, started panicking, thinking, oh shit, has he prepared for this? Has he prepared for it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, oh crap, okay. Yeah, that was generally the first time I've had that. And I can say, and I've competed that with WNBF in what?
Well,
Singapore, UK. Yeah, that is true, actually. They did do that Worlds. That is very, very true.
Hold on. What, 2 months out? Make sure you pose like you're doing your side poses on both sides, because as they spin you around, so they do front double, front lat spread, then like quarter turn, side poses to the back, and then they spin you around and do the side poses from the other side before bringing you back round to the front. So yeah, you have to be able to do your side poses on both sides.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna catch on very.
Tattoos all got that right arm. It's like, I can just close to this to world. It's closing myself.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, make sure you learn to practice on both sides, just in case, especially if you're going to do international shows, just to prepare for it. So that's my 2 cents that I would like to everyone watching.
So what is the next show you're at, Patrick? We indeed were talking about this a little bit.
Okay, so the next one I'm actually at is the OCB Great British Championship, which is like in London, so it's not too far from me. Yeah. It's in I think near Victoria.
They put that show on the same week as Northerns, haven't they? The UK DFBA Northerns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so. It's 22nd, I believe, in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same weekend.
And it's like just down the road. It's like for me to get to, it's like basically just jump on a train. And I'll be there in literally about. If I get a fast train from Gravesend, I can be there in literally 10 to 15 minutes. So
Really? That's
I think
annoying.
that's
I'm
more
actually
feasible.
away that weekend. I would have come watch it.
Yeah. And I think they only posted like up yesterday that they now have the bodybuilding, the classic, and figure class as well that are now and the masters class are all now pro classes, pro qualified
Oh,
classes
okay.
because there's enough people. Yeah, there's enough people for all those classes. So that'll be interesting to watch. I've got Tom doing that, and I've got a men's physique guys doing that as well, which is who's being coached by Connor. So that'll be his first client for posing that at that show. So we are going to be there to kind of support them to make sure like they're on it. They're
What
on it.
was
It'll be
your
pretty cool for
experience of
them.
doing that show last year like that? Because I'm thinking about doing the OCB show next year because
Do you,
it depends on how, like, what weekends and stuff the shows are, but I'm looking at a to do a show in like mid-August as that first like
Mhm.
blow the cobwebs off one, and it's looking like the MPA and the OCD both going to have shows kind of like around that time.
Um, yeah, I think so. Last year when they did it, it was pretty late. It was around about mid October, which at that point
Mm.
the season was pretty much done for pretty all the UK scene. So it's a lot more. It was lot more quiet. So they've moved it. I think one of the advice a lot of people gave them was like, can you have it a little bit more early in the season, so it's not like they're not dying out basically. So they moved to August. However, I still feel like August is such a really awkward time for people to compete because no one really competes in August, do they? It's always like a little break and then it starts off in September. So I think from my experience from it, it was a smaller show than I would have liked to be for it, but then it was the first one ever so in Europe. So I'm not surprised why that it being that small. But it was I like it. It's got a very similar vibe to it as the WNBF has in terms of like how they do their call outs, how they make it work on stage, which was pretty cool to see. I also know that as a federation, they pay the most to their pro athletes. So if you do turn pro and you want to earn some good cash, that's probably the best option to go because I believe it's like 7.5 grand for the first place winner
Fucking
at the
hell.
Yachting Cup. Yeah,
That's
which
big
is
money, bro.
very, very impressive. Yeah. For a natural federation as well, like 7.5K
That
for their
actually
first
like
place winner.
fucking makes you like think, fuck this, I want to win that money, you know?
It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So and they
Like
have
when it's
quite a
like
few pro.
250 quid, it's kind of just like
Yeah.
you're not really bothered, are you? Like, let's be honest, you're not. That's not going to give you a kick up the arse when you're fucking feeling shit. But you think, you know what, I could win 7.5 grand here. That's going to get you through that cardio
Yeah.
session. Isn't it?
And also they are the only federation that I know that pays all classes the same. So it's not like, oh, women's bodybuilding pays less than open class. They all get paid the same amount of money per class in their pro shows. So it's definitely something if you want to be a pro and want to really earn some good money and you've got good pro, then you could potentially do that. I would definitely suggest doing it. And definitely hurt to get up to qualify as a pro for if you have the chance to do it, why not? Just go for it. So yeah, I would
Big
definitely
shit in
recommend it.
America.
Yes, yeah, it's huge in America. It's huge. We've seen some very dodgy lineups over there, like when you watch the American shows. So it kind of make people on the fence about, oh, are they really worth it doing it and stuff like that. But then you turn out to one of the shows and you have someone like like Baba. He was at one of the shows like recently, and he's like one of the most insane athletes ever. And then you turn out to shows like that and you see that a guy like that and you think, holy shit, fair play. Do you know what I mean? So some of the shows are very, very like stacked and other ones are not as stacked. But yeah, it's a definitely good one to do. I just hope that like they really learn to use the market very well and do the promotion side of things a bit better because I feel like they don't do enough if they're trying to really grow in the UK. They need to
yeah, I
like
was going to say, I think if you've got like a big market in the US, you're almost piggybacking off that name. But if it's not, I'd never heard of them before I saw you had
yeah,
competed with them. That's why I then
yeah,
clicked and I was like, oh, what's this? And then when I looked and seen that, obviously they're a big federation over in the US. I think they're quite big. Oh no, it's the ICM that's over in the Far East, isn't it?
yeah. It's
It's
definitely ICM,
interesting
yeah.
that you have like these little, it's almost like regional powers within federations, isn't there? Like, um,
Very true.
obviously the different ones in kind of like the different areas, but there seems to be in natural bodybuilding, the WNBF seems to be kind of like the WNBF and the IFBB are kind of like sat at the top, and then you've got other like
Yeah,
offshoots that are like popular within that particular region. So I think there's a really big one in Australasia that's a different one as well.
the ICN is very, very big in Australasia. Like it's huge over there. And then in the UK, when they tried to do a show in the UK back in 2023, it just was dead because there wasn't
Yeah.
much promotion for it. And then just after one season, it didn't carry on. So yeah, it's one of those things like if you want to do it, especially where in the industry where, especially in the UK, where like PCA is like very dominant all over social media, you will have to step up your game to kind of like get seen and get noticed very, very quickly. And I think that's something they need to really figure out how they're going to market that very well. If they can fix the marketing team, I think they could do very, very well for themselves.
No, we're just coming up just over an hour, so we'll wrap it up quickly. But I just wanted
Yeah,
to
sure.
talk about the Canadian Two Bros Natty show.
Oh, yes,
I was
that's a
trying
good
to
one,
get
actually.
some. I was trying to get some photos up of it, but I can't actually find any good ones.
The
Um,
guy that won Classic from that looked insane. Like,
yeah,
if you were making Toyton push back to third place, like,
cool,
and then you saw,
cool,
and it was like, was it fourth? Oh, God.
cool.
Um,
Yeah,
but the caliber of that pro show, like, was
Yeah,
ridiculous. Like, I
unbelievable.
would not have wanted to judge that show because they were all like spectacular athletes. I didn't see the live stream. I've only seen like the pictures and oh, the stuff on what's the name of the news channel because I think he
yeah.
was there. Um,
Hmm.
and like, yeah, I was watching like the some of the rounds, and it was like I can't place these guys. Like I can see what placements they are, but I would not want to be sat on that judging panel.
I think what made it very special also was like all of them had their own unique looks. All of
Yeah,
them had their own unique looks.
Have you guys
Yet,
got this?
yes, yeah, I can see it on the screen. Yeah, yeah. It's like so, if you go back, the guy that
Yeah, this was the
so
classic.
he took,
I'll see if
yeah,
I can find some
and
better photos.
if you
he's
scroll down, they've got videos of the actual.
comparisons.
Yeah, so I think that's the top two.
Yeah.
Look at the back thickness, man.
So the guy,
Look at the quad.
his
Crazy.
name, I love his name by the way. His name is like Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah,
And he's like, I think he won the previous year, and he won Ben White as well. Like I think a couple of years ago. So he's pretty well known. But the winner just came out the woodworks. Like he stayed very low key. And look at that top four. Like what the hell? Like all of them look phenomenal. Like Toyin is like a next level athlete, but then for him to stand up next to these guys and like you just makes you realize that holy smoke, natural bodybuilding is like another level, man.
Yeah. Well, it's as well like Toyton, and then there's another young lad that was in there as well. I think it was
Yeah,
his pro debut season, but
yeah.
I
good to
think
see overtime, isn't
sometimes what I found interesting is those guys' responses. Is they've both been very like humble and like walked away and like, you know what, this is lit a fire, blah blah blah. But you also see it go the opposite way when somebody's had like a breakout season. They've had all this hype put on them of being the next kind of like big thing, and then they finish like third or fourth and they just kind of like disappear. But it's really good to see them both being humble enough to go, you know what, there's levels to this game. Like it's time to kind of put the work in, um,
Hmm.
rather than just being like, oh fuck this shit, I didn't win.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
unbelievable.
Uh,
You know what? Yeah, there's there's just two people that I want to see in that lineup. Actually, I'm going to share my. So obviously you've got Prosper. Um,
yeah.
that I'd want to see against all of them, and then who is? Oh mate, there's another guy from America. I think he's actually in prep right now.
Oh, I know he's. Is he the one, the OCB champion?
Yes. What is that guy's name?
Yes. Oh,
I
fuck.
think I've got him somewhere. Here we go. The Natty Standard. Where he's changed his
Yeah, the
name.
90 standard. Yeah, he changed the 90
Right,
standard
I'm
now.
gonna share
Him.
my screen. I think this guy is the best person I've ever seen.
Oh,
Obviously, you need to see him on stage, but it's just like unbelievable.
yeah,
Right.
his rate. Like, look at that. How?
What?
How?
This
How is
isn't
that
even
natural?
That's
This is a year
insane,
ago as
man.
well.
It doesn't look real. What the? I'm gonna have to go and stalk this guy on Instagram. Like, what
Yeah,
the?
he's phenomenal, man. And he's so humble as well. Such a sound guy.
Look, this is him
His
now.
You know,
He's
physique
got,
is
look at some
phenomenal.
people where it's just like, if we were back 300 years ago, like they'd be breeding him. Like, we're putting him up to stud.
Hey,
Like,
yo.
we want more like him.
Do you know what? Yeah, I saw. What was I gonna say about in regards to him? Do you know what? Yeah, this is. So if you listen to him or you follow him, once you get on this page, you're gonna find out that he's been competing for many years. So to get to this physique didn't happen overnight. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
taken him years to build this physique,
look at them
and that's
arms.
what I think.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's this Gennady king, man. Like,
Oh, don't
oh,
don't ever bring him up. Please don't ever bring him up again. I'm so sick of that guy, man. He
I
pisses me off so
what
much.
he's trying to do. But and again, it's that clickbait stuff, isn't it? He's obviously doing it
Oh,
to rile people up so it gets more attention. Um, but it's just he walks that line between arrogance and confidence, and I think he's just tipped himself over it.
yeah.
But again, it could be a character. He could be doing it for the clicks. So
It's not. I don't think it's making him look good. I think he needs to stop. It's just a bit too cringy. Like at this point, yeah, it's just jarring, very jarring.
Right, lads, let's wrap it up there. It was good to
let's
be
wrap
back.
it up.
It's good to see you all. Everyone,
You
thank
too,
you for
man.
tuning in. It's been a while. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please get involved. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, lads.
Catch you on the next one. Take care.
Ladies, guys.